Today, let's talk about increasing your visibility through the search process. So, this doesn't mean necessarily that because we have two different types of content, right? So, we have the content that shows up on a feed, right? So, it literally shows up on the feed. We do everything we can to stop people scroll, make them pay attention to it. And then we have what we call searchable content, meaning they're purposely searching for what they're looking for, right? It's not just a feed that we by chance grab their attention, but they're specifically looking for what they want, right? So they're searching using keywords. So there's many types of content that can do this, and I want to go over several of them. But the first thing that I want you to identify is that a lot of times we are not using the specific keywords that people are asking about, right? For example, knowing your ideal person and paying attention to the words that they say is so important, but also identifying the key words that are really important in in that industry or in that pain point that they're looking for, right? So I used a word I don't know, like a year ago in my inner circle, and they were like, what does that mean? And I was talking about the congruency of when people click on a ad or click on a post, and then they go to a landing page and it's not the same. And everybody was like, what do you mean? What's congruency mean? So I had to explain that, right? So that is not a word that I should use in searchability if I'm talking about that problem, right? I can use it to explain, but I need to use some other words, like they're not the same. Miscommunication, like whatever, right? So I need to make sure that I'm using the same words. A lot of times visibility is in a searchable word. So I also use the word brand awareness. People know, like, nobody knows who I am, but they may not say I'm not visible, right? So I get to remember what the words are that people are searching for, but also do my own research to figure that out. So when we could talk about searchable content, we think of YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google, right? So it's very searchable content. There's no reason to go put a video on YouTube and literally not put any words on it, right? That would be crazy. Unless they're already a subscriber, that's great. But how are you going to be findable, which is what Myron Golden uses the word findable. How are you going to be findable? How are you going to be searchable? We want to not only say the words that we want to say, but we need to add in keywords to them, right? Blog posts, for example, very SEO, keyword driven, very searchable. The same thing with podcasts. Podcasts are very searchable. And if you think about it, when I talk about YouTube, podcasting, blog posts, very long-term marketing strategies, right? Because they're not just showing up on a feed to grab attention, they are searchable pieces of content. They get better with age, like wine, right? They get better the longer they are around. Other ways that we can be searchable, not specifically in a searchable platform, is hashtags. Hashtags are a great way to be searchable. But also, like on TikTok, right? They are going to put our content into a algorithm of what those people are looking for. So if somebody is looking for business related stuff, are we using business related terms in our TikTok, or are we using something, my dog is silly, right? Like that's not going to get the people that you're looking for. It doesn't mean we can't have fun content. It doesn't mean we can't do that, but we need to think about the content that we're trying to grab attention, right? The content we're trying to be searchable, the content we want served to other people. Groups, Facebook groups, very searchable. If your Facebook group description is very keyword heavy, you are going to come up when people are searching. Searching for your profile. If your profile is very keyword heavy, you're going to come up in more searches, meaning you're more visible in the search, right? Pinterest, for example, another very, like, you rarely put something on Pinterest and it goes viral just like that, or it gets really good results just like that. It takes time. What are people searching for? If it doesn't work and it's not getting good traction, we get to go and create another piece and really do our research and what are the search terms that people are using. I can be more searchable on Pinterest that way, right? Keywords, or sorry, hashtags on Instagram as well. Very keyword heavy, meaning that we're searchable. Gifts is another way that you can be searchable. Again, very keyword heavy. My gift game is like on point, 1.7 million views right now. But I keep going in and like adding the hashtags or the searchable terms that are working, right? I research where the gaps are, where they need more searchable terms. How can I fit my business into that? So it's all about this searchable strategy. It's all about knowing the keywords. It's all about knowing what people are asking. One of the strategies that we talk about in content creation is, what are people asking in Facebook groups? Go look, or Quora or something like that. Go look and see what the exact questions people are asking. How can I take that exact question and create an answer with it using the exact words that that person asked? I'll never forget, I sent somebody a text one time and I said IG. They were like, I don't know what IG is. What? FB? No? TT? TikTok? Instagram? Facebook? No? I have to spell it out for people. I can't use those little, like, what are they, the initials. I can't use that. I have to say them out. Unless I'm with my industry people, most of the people don't know what I mean when I say that. Or it's just not clicking right there in that moment because they're thinking about something else. So how can we be more searchable? Are we doing the research for the words that we're using? Are we doing the research for the captions that we're using? Are we using research for the hashtags that we're using? Are we using research for the descriptions that we're using? Are we using keywords for the headlines, YouTube, podcast, all of the stuff that we're using? Are we taking advantage of the keywords, or are we just halfway doing it and putting something up to put something up? Your message could be amazing, but if people can't search for it, is it that amazing? Well, yeah, it's still amazing, but we need to work on the searchability of it. And this is part of a visibility strategy. This is part of a great visibility strategy. If you get those terms, if you get the words and you're using them, if you become the key identifier of the exact thing that people are asking for. And so you become more searchable. The question is, are you going to become more searchable? Are you going to do the research? It's hard, right? It's hard to do that extra step, but also worth it, my friend. So many people are cranking out content. And literally, if we just did the hard things and figured it out, you could do so much less content because you're searchable then. You don't need to put all that work into it. So what are you going to do today to increase your searchability so that you can increase your visibility when it comes to searchable content? If you ever need support with this, feel free to reach out. I love chatting these things. I love helping you with these things. I have tons of programs that can support you and help you with this, but I know that this is a major place that we're all lacking and missing when it comes to our content strategy. So how can you be more searchable and more findable in your visibility strategy?